EA sucks. You know why? Because they are literally destroying Star Wars Battlefront. So, to back this story to the beginning so that you know exactly what I'm talking about here. A little while back, we found out that EA picked up the contracts to do all Star Wars games for basically the next 10 years. And then a few months later, they announced they're going to do Star Wars Battlefront. Now, everybody was excited, including myself at first, to hear that a new Star Wars Battlefront was coming, considering Star Wars Battlefront 2, the last one, was like 10 years ago. So yeah, the hype for that started building as soon as they announced it, because we've all been waiting for another Star Wars Battlefront game. But then EA showed us just how bad they're deciding to drop the ball on this. Or not even drop the ball, they're just literally screwing the game over completely. And you wanna know how they're doing that? I'll just put it to you this way. Remember everything that you loved about Star Wars Battlefront 2 back when it was around? Well, guess what? You're not gonna get any of that in this game. They have already announced that there's only going to be 4 maps to play on. No space battles, no classes, which means when you respawn, you're just going to respawn as the same dude over and over again. You're not going to be able to respawn as artillery or as an engineer or anything like that. No, you're just going to be the same dude over and over again. Also, there will not be a campaign mode. They're scrapping the campaign mode. Are you serious? This is a Star Wars game. Do you know what the name Star Wars means? Everything behind Star Wars is fueled by the epic stories that are told in it, and you're gonna give us a Star Wars game without a campaign mode? And then you try to ease our pain by telling us, hey, guess what? There's gonna be 40-player online battles. But then you freaking shot us in the heart by saying, oh, that 40-player online battles, oh, that's going to be restricted to only 1 game mode. All the other game modes are going to be limited to 8 players. So basically what they've done is that they've taken everything that was great about the previous Star Wars Battlefront game and they removed it completely. There is nothing there to remind you that this was actually a Star Wars game. This is actually more like a Battlefield game than anything else. And not too surprising that they have DICE making this game. You know, the same people that they got on board to make the Battlefield games. So this is less of a Star Wars game and more of a Battlefield space game. And it's not even a Battlefield space game because there's not going to be any actual space battles going on. It's like, are you serious, EA? Are you really serious with this? Do you really expect everybody to fall for this? Probably think that all of the new inexperienced players who don't really know anything about Battlefront are going to jump on board to buy this game because they don't remember the old ones. Well, guess what? Everybody remembers the old ones, and anybody who doesn't is being well informed of what the old Battlefront games were like. Battlefront 2 was one of the greatest games of all time, and that's not an exaggeration because this is 10 years after the game came out, and online servers on the PC version are still being played right now. That just shows it is a game that withstood the test of time, therefore putting it in the bracket of being one of the best games to ever be made. And then you're going to take that and strip that down to nothing and then hand it to us and say, hey, here's a new Battlefront game? And oh man, this whole past week has just been them trying to make excuses to justify what they're doing. First it was, oh well, we're trying to take it back to the roots of the game. What roots? There were only 2 previous games back, Star Wars Battlefront 1 and Star Wars Battlefront 2. There wasn't a whole line of games. It's not like there was 10 games for you to backtrack to, so what are you really trying to get to the roots of? Sounds like an excuse for trying to strip down a game and give it to us bare bones. And then you guys want to come out and say, oh well, don't worry, we're not trying to set you up to feed you a whole bunch of DLCs. We already know that it's crap. We already know that you're full of shit. So don't even try to play us like that. We already know what you're gonna do. This is a typical EA move. And so basically you're just feeding us lie after lie after lie to convince us that this is actually going to be a good game. The only thing about this game that's going to be better than the previous one are the graphics. That's it. And when the hell are you going to learn, EA, that graphics don't make a good game? Graphics are good to have in a good game, but game content makes a good game. Seriously, how hard is that for you to understand? All these excuses you're giving us is just a way to cover up the fact that you're just taking a whole bunch of steps backward and you're just either going to give us a series of DLCs and try to squeeze money out of everybody, or you're going to give us a line of Battlefront games that are going to suck up until you finally catch up to Battlefront 2. Not even get better than Battlefront 2. And when I first heard about this, I was curious. I was like, why are they just calling this Battlefront? Shouldn't it be Battlefront 3? But now I know why you're only calling it Battlefront, because you don't want to call it Battlefront 3, because then you're going to remind everybody that there was a Battlefront 2, and you're stripping everything from Battlefront 2 and giving us a game that has absolutely nothing. But we remember. All of us, the true Star Wars fans, the true Star Wars game fans, we remember. because that was an epic game. You can't overshadow that game like it didn't exist. And yet, no matter what, you just keep on trying. It's like, at this point, you guys have literally become the George Bush of the gaming industry. You just took something that was doing just fine without you, and then you turned it into a complete mockery, a disgrace. And you just feel fine about it. You're like, oh, that's great. Anything to squeeze money out of our customers, because we don't care about quality, we just care about making money. And it doesn't really matter to us if we wind up destroying a franchise or multiple franchises in the process. It's like, seriously, you're like that creepy guy that works the pound just so he can put animals to sleep and not go to jail for it. But I guess, hey, we should all look at it from the bright side. At least EA is living up to their reputation as being the worst company in the world 2 years running. And when I say worst company in the world, I mean company period, not gaming company, literally company period. That's what they were voted as 2 years running, and they're doing a great job and working on getting that third year. It's like it's a marathon for them, they're just not going to quit. It's like at this point, EA's company slogan might as well be, we exist to piss you off. Because that's all you're doing. You're just pissing off your fans. You're pissing off potential customers. You're pissing off anybody who remembers what a Star Wars game should look like. And you're trying to give us a pile of crap, and we're not going to accept it. I'm not buying that game. And anybody I know who is a gamer is not going to buy that game. And anybody out there with half a brain is not going to buy that game. Because we already know, we can already see that it's going to suck. Any game that you put out that has less than half the content of the previous game sucks. That's just the bottom line. When you make a new game, it needs to have just as much, if not more content than the previous one. It's a concept that for some reason you just cannot get. Why, EA? Why are you so stupid? Or no, you don't scratch that. Why are you so greedy? Because that's all this is. This is just a ploy to slowly give us everything that we already got 10 years ago and squeeze as much money out of us as possible in the process, only to finally at the very end maybe give us, what, a couple of new features? What, 5 years from now with your own Battlefront 5? Because that's pretty much what it's going to be. You're probably just going to make a new Battlefront game every year that's only going to have maybe one extra feature from the last one. But understand, this is not Battlefield, this is not Call of Duty, this is not one of those war games where you can keep feeding everybody the same crap over and over again. This is Star Wars. Star Wars has a certain name to it, it has a certain persona to it, it has its own fan base. The name alone would sell the game if it wasn't for the crap you're trying to pull. Star Wars is not your typical war game. Star Wars is its own thing, and by stripping it down from what it is, it's not a Star Wars game anymore. So get your act together and deliver something good. Otherwise, fans like me will not be buying a single Star Wars game until somebody else takes that license. And that's pretty much all there is to say about it. There's no excuses for what you're doing or nothing. What you're delivering to us is unacceptable. And considering you used to be a company that would deliver great games like 15 years ago in the early 2000s, what you're doing now is a mockery of what you used to be. Is it like, what, you don't want to be the great game company that you once were? Is this really your plan? Are you just trying to destroy yourself from the inside out? Because if it is, it's working. And it's pretty sad. So anyway, to everyone out there who has ever loved Star Wars, don't buy this game. And I'm not saying don't buy this game as some huge protest to EA. No, don't buy this game because you will be seriously disappointed. Trust me. Everything about this game is ass backwards. Don't waste your money on it, because all it's going to do is put you into a rage when you play that game and you realize this is not what a Star Wars game should be. So that's the end of my rant. Hit that like button, hit the share button, give me a reply, tell me what you think about what EA is doing and the mistakes that they're making, or tell me, like, who knows, you just might trust EA and think that they're going to deliver on it. Tell me what you think about this whole situation in the comment section below, and also subscribe or die if you haven't done so already. So until next time, my friends, take care of yourselves.